Postpartum. My approach every time I had to train someone that had a baby, this is my approach every single time. It's one of those situations that I'm very, very careful. And I'm very careful all the time, but when it comes to somebody that just had a child and that's been in a stressful situation for 9 months, plus even after the baby, I have a approach that I take extremely serious. Peace and bless everybody. I pray everybody have a blessed day. So let's get right into it. My name is Arkeem Samuels. I'm a weight loss coach. I've been a weight loss coach for 13 years. And my job is to help people get in the best shape of their life, as well as have a better understanding of nutrition plus fasting. Saying that, every time I had a client that come around and she just had a baby, I'm really focused and hands-on and very much in tune with what's going on, more than probably any other situation. So saying that, the first thing, I always make sure that you got clear. And you say, oh, well, why you have to worry about that? That should automatically come. I wouldn't say that. Listen, I'm a former athlete, and I've been in situations that I have gotten hurt. Should have got cleared, didn't get cleared, told coaches that I got cleared. How I got away with not having information or proof that I got cleared, that's a whole nother conversation. And by me not getting cleared, got hurt again, pretty much just say I came back too early. So it's very, very important that you have information that she got cleared. Now, even in that, you're protecting yourself as well as the client. Anything can happen. You never, when it comes to health and wellness, when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to physical fitness and physical movements, that you go over somebody's word, especially in a situation like that. They have to be cleared. The second thing is, I'm understanding that in the first couple of weeks, she's coming from a stressful situation, so she's going to be most likely very emotional, most likely mentally, her mental health is probably not intact the way it's supposed to be. So you lend in the ear. So you have to have the understanding that even though it's a training session and a weight loss session and stuff like that, because she's trying to get her body back, she's also trying to get her mental back. So you have to be able to understand that, so you be able to lock in with her for how long you guys are there. Now, I only train people for 12 to 16 weeks. So when they come on board, they have that understanding that you're going to need 12 to 16 weeks for this, because a lot of things come with getting back in shape, eating correctly, just having a baby. Kind of got to make sure everything's intact. So boom, after that, all right, bro, see you later. So after that, the first week to 6 weeks at least, you're going to be getting into body weight, pelvic movements, body squats, overhead stuff, mostly body stuff. Because you understand, one of the, not mistakes, but one of the wrong thinkings that I had, like, yo, she just had a baby, so she's flexible. It's not always the case, man. You know, sometimes you're not flexible. Sometimes you could be stiff for not being active to a degree for a long period of time, especially if they haven't been working out or being, having some type of movement the whole 9 months. Because we think that everybody do, but no, a lot of women don't. Saying that, those movements that you're gonna do for the first week to 6 weeks is very important, because you're getting her stronger for doing the thing that she already do. You know what I'm saying? So body squats, chair squats, wall push-ups, sitting in a position on a wall for 30 seconds, lunges if they can, pelvic moves, pushing and pull. Was you able to get in? You able to get in? Good. So all those things are very, very important because she's going to be carrying around a baby. Sorry for that noise. She's going to be carrying around her baby. Pampers, like, boxes. Of course she, because she's being clear, she's able to move certain things in the household and stuff like that. So you're keeping all this in mind, right? So the first 1 to 6 weeks, it definitely is going to be body movement. From 6 weeks to 12 or on, you're going to start introducing weights. Now, of course, bodybuilding is the essential protocol for somebody that just had a baby, but not necessarily for how you say the not necessarily for like to look like a bodybuilder, but you're building up the body, so those movements that we did without the weights, they still remain the same because they still bodybuilding movements. So the pushing and pulling, the ups and downs, and you just add weights, and you got to be smart about it, because when you're dealing with somebody that just had a baby, so for example, if somebody just had a kid already, they already got kids, or a woman that don't have kids, you could kind of like gauge it and push them in a way that is suitable in that situation because they already had kids or they don't have kids. But somebody that's just had a child, you might take the same that mindset, but like, yo, you could do more. Like, no, you can't do that. The best thing about dealing with somebody postpartum, you got to stick to the program. Even if you think they could do more, you don't really know what's going on internally. Like, you got to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's probably one of them situations I'm super gentle more than any other situation. You feel what I'm saying? But the movements is life in these movements, man, because she's getting stronger. Because remember, you're picking up, having a baby, picking them up, going up and down the stairs, in and out of cars, going into buildings, pushing the carriage, having the baby seat, like all that stuff require functional movement, functional strength. You know what I'm saying? So after that, the most important thing that, we kind of, and I know I went ahead, but one of the top conversations that we had is nutrition. So mind you, she's breastfeeding, right? So the main thing that you want to keep in mind is whole foods, eggs, meat, complex carbs like rice and potatoes, sweet potatoes. You're talking about good fats like coconut oils and certain butters. Like, you write out a meal plan example so she could thrive off of, because it's not just about her. If she's breastfeeding, those nutrients is going into that baby. So you gotta make sure that she's eating correctly while she's losing weight, right? And keep in mind as well, she just had a baby, so they snacky. They, when they was pregnant, they probably was eating everything in the world. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like 5 to 10%, they're going to still be eating a certain way, and it has to be okay. So the weight loss process could be slower. That's why I do 12 to 16 weeks, right? So you got to keep that stuff in mind, and then you just go. And let me tell you something. Another key point is that rest. You might sign up for her to be there for 2 weeks, twice a week, but if she's tired, especially in the beginning, that's why that first week to 6 weeks is so crucial, because a lot of times she's gonna need to rest. That's probably the key of all this, because she's still a full-time mom or wife, or other kids, maybe, all these different things. So rest is so important, man. Rest is so important. So that's my approach. And of course there's other things but just to get this information out, that's kind of how I approach women that have kids. You know what I'm saying? Just had a kid, and so she could get her mental back. And because let me tell you something, man, it don't matter what you say, husband, boyfriend, sons, family, it don't matter what you say. If she feels ugly in her mind and she's not liking what she's seeing, man, you kind of gotta let them get that stuff out. And a lot of times, or the best time is to do that, is to get into physical things after you've been cleared and stuff like that. So that's my approach. It's always been my approach, man. It's real delicate. You really gotta approach that really being focused on her and making sure that she's good, because that mental is really, it's really a serious thing. And I had to learn about that, you know what I'm saying, being a health and wellness coach. So, but that's my approach, guys, man. That's what I do, you know. And over the years, that's probably one of the most challenging clients I probably ever had, outside of, I had a client that was blind. I'll tell that story another time, but it was awesome though. But it gave me a different perspective on being so-called handicapped. You feel what I'm saying? So, hey guys, I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Again, like always, anybody need accountability partner, click the link in the bio and we can get right to it. You will not be disappointed. Peace.